Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you a bit of gel one stroke, believe it or not, with these beautiful brushes. These are available in two styles from glittergoddess.co.uk. Now, with any gel painting, I use the back of an old stamping plate, and I've just picked out two average gel polishes. They're nothing special, you don't need to rush off and spend lots of money. Just try and pick two decent ones that are highly pigmented. These are actually a one-step gel polish by Elite 99. They're alright. These particular colours seem to be quite nicely pigmented. For my display pop, all I've done is used a white gel polish, nothing fancy. It's had two coats cured and then a no wipe top coat on top. So I like to use a flat-headed brush, and you will often see me pinching it like that when I'm doing my one stroke to keep it really tight and neat. Don't do this if you've got gel on. You do not want to get the gel on your skin. And the same goes for when you're blending. Obviously don't blend on your hand, blend on the palette that you're using. So simple technique, you dip one half in the brush but pull it sort of towards you in that motion to get the corner of the gel, and then you can do the same but upwards to scoop a little bit of the orange. So you're basically getting a brush with two parts on. And all you got to do is turn it over, give it a quick blend. Now you can't do the layered one stroke very easily, I've found, but it's nice this just to do a simple salon design. So you've got to think of making your petals around an invisible circle. So you start just blending out your little petals, twist the brush a little bit, and when you're happy with the shape you stop. You can blend a little bit more if you don't feel like you've got enough polish. You go ahead and you blend a bit more. Leave an invisible circle and an invisible gap. Now we are going to go over these once or twice, so don't worry if it disperses a little and it isn't quite what you wanted. This is why you need quite a pigmented polish, because it works so much better. And sometimes you might need to twist your brush a different angle, depending on how you do your painting. I use basically the tapping technique. I just find that easiest. It's very individual one stroke. You have to find what works for you. And if you're wanting to do the flicky one, you have to start with your brush horizontally flat like that. Tap tap tap, bring it out a little way, and then thinking about drawing the line with your outer yellow edge, if that makes sense. So you draw that line with that outer yellow. See how that's made that extra petal there? Yeah? Right, I'm really happy with that, so I'm going to flash cure that for 5 seconds. If you're ever not sure and you don't like it, wipe it off and start again. But if you flash cure the bits that you do like, you'll find that you just make a better job of it. So that's had that quick cure. That'll be dry enough to work with. So I'm going to go over all at the top again, make them nice and bold. You might want to fill in any gaps that you didn't like. Try and leave a little gap between the petals though. And make that invisible circle in the middle, because we're going to fill that in a minute. And you'll notice I keep going back to get more gel. It's harder, I think, with gel polish than it is with paint, but at least it doesn't run out on you, if you know what I mean. So with this one, I'm actually turning my brush over. You'll notice I did those ones with the yellow at the top going outwards. When you start doing the work below, you need to turn it so the yellow's going downwards. Notice how the yellow's gone onto the right side of my brush. And you're going to just pop your brush there, draw that line with the yellow part of your brush. You're always thinking about blending that in. And that's pretty, so I'm going to put that in the lamp. Just give it a 5-second cure, and you can go back and reprime your brush with a bit more gel. I really like the shape of these brushes, and they're nice to hold, which is good. So, like I said to you before, it's really hard to blend and put the colour over the top, because it just goes into a bit of a mush, really. So I'm going to pretend I'm not going to do that. And I'm going to make a nice kind of swirl. So I'm going to start a bit lower with the yellow on the top. And I'm going to draw a nice, quite deep smile there, so that you've got a nice arched curve. I'm going to bring my brush round. Notice how I started at a 45-degree angle and I've ended up at a, whatever you want to call it, a 90-degree angle, straight line, vertical, whatever you fancy. So I'm going to cure that again now. I like that piece. Go ahead and get some more gel. Now this is the only bit I'm going to overlap, and it will need some help later on, so I'm going to start with my yellow kind of lined up to the base of that orange, because I'm going to make a bit of a curve and it won't be very obvious to start with. I'm going to do like a U shape, but you have to go down and up. It's probably more like a V. So start with the yellow brush there, down, twist the brush and up. All in the same movement. You can still do this tapping motion. That will basically, when it cures, you can't really be able to see it at the minute, it will give you like a little section in the middle that looks like a folded round petal. So I'm just going to cure that again. If you're finding your brush is getting a bit muddy and gross and it's not really keeping what you want, the best thing to do is just get your little piece of cloth or some kitchen towel, and you can put some IPA or some acetone on that and it will just help it along. So again, you can just start to see the formation of this little curl, but we're going to go over that in a minute, so don't worry too much. Cure what you like. I might show you one of the flower as well. This one's quite complex if you're not used to one straight, but again, have a play, have a go. That's what it's all about. I might just attempt one more curl and see what happens. And I've done a very stupid thing there, and I've muddied my brush by putting it in the wrong way around, so I'm just going to get some acetone on a cloth. I'm just going to wipe my brush side to side. Don't smush it or make a mess of your brush. Always flip it over if you want to keep it really, really straight and crisp for one stroke. That is the plan. So might just do one more little layer of that yellow to really try and make it stand out a little bit. It's not going to be brilliant with gel, much easier with paint. But there, you can see I was just starting to get that little curl, which we'll go over in a second, and we can put some pretty dots in and make it look really nice. Let's do another little flower somewhere else. And again, you can do leaves, you can do anything you fancy. So a little one that's quite easy to do is again, same sort of thing, leave a gap for the hole, but you're basically making little triangles. You can go over them if you're not happy, so just twist your brush in your fingers and you're going to start and keep them nice and easy done. Some more paint on your brush. You will keep having to move your client or your pop. Don't be afraid to move it where you want it. And you will have to flip your brush over at some points and do it the wrong way. So you're moving the yellow lower down. You just have to figure out what works for you. You can just do it in lots of little taps like that. You see how I've just created that little flower at the bottom there? And again, you can just fill in that corner so it looks like it's not gone off the face of the earth. So that's that bit. I think that's enough of that. Let's clean that brush, make sure you're not getting anything on it. So it's not going to cure in your brush. Might need some more acetone or some IPA. Again, side to side wipes, don't scrub your brush, it makes a mess of it. Okay, I'll give that a proper clean in a minute. Well, that's very pretty. So the detailing section, you'll want to go ahead and get your detailer brush and pick up some polish, and you want to just make those lines stand out just a tiny weeny bit. You can crisp the edges up a little bit. wanting to bring in the gaps at the edges with the yellow just to make it kind of all flow into itself. And then perhaps with your little flower at the bottom, you might not feel you need to do that. You might just want to put some dots in the middle just to make it look flowery. The finish I find personally the hardest bit, because I think that makes it look or not look like a flower. So it's all just practice. I mean, these aren't fantastic. I'm not saying I'm an amazing artist or anything, but it's something to try. And you'll often find a lot of your clients want something a bit different, and if you're not willing to try, you won't be able to offer it to them. So you're better off having a go on sticks and seeing how you get on with it. So now you go ahead and top coat that if you were happy with it. I think that's quite a pretty design. So I hope you liked this or found it useful. If you did, give me a thumbs up. And if you like the brushes, like I say, they were available on glittergoddess.co.uk. Thanks very much for watching. Bye now.